Welcome back to everyone that was locked into the stream for the women's, who just concluded with a 85-69 victory over Warren Wilson. Now we have the men's version of Brevard versus Warren Wilson. Tornadoes coming off of victory number 1 this past Saturday against Swanee. That was a 78-65 victory. For those of you just now tuning in for the men's portion of the doubleheader, welcome. And we are here live from the Bosch, bringing you Tornado basketball every home game of the season, including tonight, Tuesday night doubleheader clash for both Brevard squads. The women already took care of business against Warren Wilson. Now the men looking to do the same, as Warren Wilson 0-3 on the men's side of things, 0-7 now on the women's side of things. And for Warren Wilson, a team that, quite frankly, the Brevard offense should have their way with. Warren Wilson in 3 games allowing 106 points per game. They just lost a heartbreaker, 83-81 against Methodist. Before that, they kind of played the 2 powerhouses of the USA South, well, save for North Carolina Wesleyan, in Piedmont and William Peace. Well, actually, correction. I thought that Greensboro, I thought it said Greensboro. It said Piedmont. That's a bit of an announcer error on my part. But let me tell you what the scores were. Against Piedmont, 122-61. A loss there against Piedmont. And then as for against William Peace, a 113-74 loss. So the porous defense of Warren Wilson should be an area that the Tornadoes are able to attack in this one here tonight. Back here in just a moment with starters and a few more pregame thoughts and notes, and then it will be time for basketball. About 15 minutes away from tip here at the Bosch. NATOs and Owls Part 2 coming at you here live in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Tornado fans. We've got the starting lineups for both squads, and we will go ahead and bring those to you right now. Starting with Warren Wilson. 0-3 Warren Wilson. Tornadoes looking to make that 0-4. It'll be number 1, Nasir Cotton, 6'5", sophomore forward out of Tampa, Florida, with Yoshi Kendrick, number 2, 6'3", junior forward out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Then Antonio Banuelos, number 3, 6'3", senior forward out of Forest City, North Carolina. Number 4, Jason Hines Jr., 6'4", freshman guard out of Southside, Jamaica, Queens, New York. And then rounding out the 5, number 15, Dylan Wheatley, 6'4", sophomore guard out of Asheboro, North Carolina. Now for the home team, the Brevard College Tornadoes, playing their second home contest of the season. A lot of veteran experience in this group. Quincy Carter, number 4, the grad student, 6'1", 215 guard out of Decatur, Georgia, Collins Hill High School. Number 5, L.B. Boyette, the senior guard, 6'4", 190 out of Charlotte. Then Carson Evans, senior guard, 5'10", 165 out of Charlotte. After that, it's number 11, K.K. Horton, the junior guard, 6'2", 180 out of Asheville, North Carolina. And number 12, Jaden Carnes, the sophomore forward, 6'4", 170 out of Concord, North Carolina. And for Carnes, the one guy in that group that is not an upperclassman, but boy, does he play like it. Carnes so far in the year, just under 10 points a game, just under 2 assists per game, and the other day was the leading scorer in the Tornadoes' opening win of the season, 78-65 victory over Sewanee. Jaden Carnes had 13 points as well as 4 assists. A really well-rounded scoring unit both for the season and in that game for the Tornadoes. Quincy Carter had 10. Charlie Hester had 12 on a perfect 4-4 from the field. And Chancey Watson with 10 points and 5 rebounds as well. Throughout the season so far, on average, Jeremy Posner, Quincy Carter, and Charlie Hester each averaging 10 a game, with Jaden Carnes averaging just under 10 with 9.8. Just under 4 minutes to go here in this one. Take a look at the all-time matchup between the Tornadoes and Warren Wilson. 7 matchups in the all-time matchup history. Brevard with a 5-2 advantage in those 7 matchups. So Warren Wilson, similar to the women's, a team that Brevard handles really well. Went 1-1 last year in the season series, which was the first time that Brevard started playing a season series, a home-and-home with Warren Wilson. Before that, you would see a matchup a year, maybe, spread out over a couple different years. But the season series last year, Brevard splitting, losing 87-81 here in the Bosch to Warren Wilson, then getting the victory 76-60 at Warren Wilson. Not quite sure how much roster retention from last year to this year Warren Wilson has, but if a lot of the same guys are there, he could be in, based off last year, for a close contest between the two teams, despite Warren Wilson being 0-3. But at the moment, Brevard only 1-3. Played a couple of tough games to start the year. Montreat lost to Bob Jones, lost to BSC, but then got that victory the other day over Sewanee, looking to use that to help turn things around. About 2.5 minutes to go before we get going with the lineups and the anthem. I will be back here on the call after that. I am Brady Penn, guiding you through Tornado basketball here tonight, a doubleheader against the Warren Wilson Owls from Swannanoa, North Carolina. Should be a good one. Nados and Owls coming up here in just a moment. Do not go anywhere.
gentlemen, welcome to the Boschmer Gymnasium for this evening's men's basketball matchup between the visitors from Warren Wilson College, the Owls, versus your Brevard College Tornadoes. Brevard College Tornado Athletics family mourns the passing of Danny H. Voss, a BC Athletics Hall of Famer and a Brevard College Distinguished Alumni recipient. Before tonight's game, please join us for a moment of silence for Danny H. Voss. Thank you. Now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. First for the Warren Wilson Owls, number 1, Nazir Cotton. Number 2, Yoshi Kendrick. Number 3, Antonio Banuelos. Number 4, Jason Hines Jr. Number 15, Dylan Wheatley. And now the starting lineups for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 4, graduate guard from Decatur, Georgia, Quincy Carter. A senior guard from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 5, L.B. Boyette. Senior guard from Charlotte, North Carolina, number 10, Carson Evans. Junior guard from Asheville, North Carolina, number 11, K.K. Horton. And the sophomore forward from Concord, North Carolina, number 12, Jaden Carnes. Tornadoes are instructions head coach Lee Burgess, associate head coach is Miles Leathers, athletic trainer is Nicole Harshbarger. Tornadoes Now is coming up next.
There you have it, the starting lineups for both sides. And we are just about ready to rock out here at the Bosch. Part 2 of the Brevard College Warren Wilson doubleheader action here on a Tuesday night at the Bosch. Just a couple days prior to Thanksgiving. Most of campus has gone home already, but some strong NATO fans, passionate NATO fans, and some family here in the building tonight for this one. These two, rather, between the Tornadoes and the Owls. It'll be Jaden Carnes and Nasir Cotton for the jump. And Cotton comes away with it. Quickly, Warren Wilson goes up with a layup, and it's good. Dylan Wheatley gets things going immediately for Warren Wilson. Warren Wilson strikes first as L.B. Boyette gives to Quincy Carter. Now K.K. Horton. K.K. up top, Quincy driving with his left, now defers to Carnes. Carnes, Boyette, right side, down low on the right elbow. Horton, Carnes, 3-ball, bang, off the roll. Jaden Carnes starts things off with a tray. And here's Hines. Yoshi Kendrick, left wing guarded by Horton, goes left to right, driving in, puts it up off the glass, and a foul on K.K. Horton. He does not agree. But when do they ever? Two free throws coming here for Yoshi Kendrick.
His first, team's first.
Kendrick too strong off the back iron on that first one. Good on the second. Tied up 40 seconds in. Evans, right side, handoff to Quincy. LB, Horton left wing. Quincy, left side, backing down on Wheatley, turning around, fakes the jumper. Evans, pump fake himself, stepping back now. KK Horton to his right, LB Boyette, bounces one to Evans. Couple of left-handed dribbles, goes up, and a foul. He was too strong on the shot. Contact deemed to be too much by the official. Now free throws coming for the NATOs.
Into the free throw line, number 10, Carson Evans.
Carson too strong on his first one, similar to Yoshi Kendrick. And Carson cannot hit either one. Banuelos with the rebound. Banuelos whips one in quickly to Kendrick. Corner Wheatley. Back to Kendrick. Yoshi Kendrick working on Jaden Carnes. Stepping back. Whips a pass back door. Nobody saw Nasir Cotton.
Basket by number 1, Nasir Cotton.
And quickly another basket for the Owls. Off to a 5-3 start. Horton. Left elbow right on the blocks. Backing down. Goes up over Wheatley and gets the 2.
Basket number 11, KK Horton.
Banuelos. Hines trying to put moves on Boyette. Now Banuelos once again. Looking. Now defers to his right to Hines. Hines working on Boyette. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Just short. Carson Evans with the rebound. Passes one up. Horton, left wing. Goes inside. Puts up the finger roll. No good and a foul. Carson Evans was right there with the putback layup. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws for KK Horton. NATO's early on trying to draw contact and get to the line, it looks like. Penetration of the Warren Wilson defense to start things off. KK's first free throw rims in and out. So the NATO's 0 for their first 3 at the stripe. Doesn't matter if you draw the fouls if you can't knock down the free throws. And now Horton once more. Gets one to go. Now here's Kendrick. Kendrick, quick fire 3, no good, too strong, but rebound Cotton goes up over Carnes and gets it.
Basket by number 1, Nasir Cotton.
Carson Evans with the basketball goes around a screen from Carnes. Looking for a man, now has Carter. Up top, Jaden Carnes to his left, handoff. Boyette, Trey, too strong. Rebound pulled in Nasir Cotton. Hines races up the left side, goes in on Carter, pass corner, Wheatley 3-ball, short. Rebound brought in by Quincy Carter. Quincy fires a deep pass over to Horton on the left side, back to Quincy, who drives in, full head of steam, layup good.
Tornadoes basket number 4, Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter with a 2. He's got a couple of baskets early on here. Nasir Cotton left wing. Guarded by Horton, now moves to his right. Behind the back, slips momentarily, gives it to Banuelos, who goes up, cannot get anything. Good defense there. LB Boyette with the basketball. Working on Hines. Goes up top, Carson Evans. Carson called for a travel. Warren Wilson basketball. 8-7 Tornado lead early on here. About 3.5 minutes into the first half. Cotton, Banuelos, guarded on the right side by LB. Going inside, spinning around, goes for the layup, gets nothing but air, and throws a pass up that is intercepted by Kendrick. Yoshi Kendrick, pass, corner, Banuelos fires, can't connect, rebound, knocked right to LB Boyette. LB up the left side, 2-on-2, LB, fast break, goes up with the left hand and scoops it in. LB, not quite the scoring weapon that we've been accustomed to seeing so far with under 5 points a game, but a good basket there as the 3 misses from Cotton. Banuelos with the offensive rebound. Kendrick thinks about a 3 of his own. Instead will hold up, guarded by Carter. Banuelos, little head fake. Now gives to Cotton. It's knocked away by Evans, but Cotton able to maintain it. Kendrick, 3-ball, good. Pure on the deep one there by Yoshi Kendrick, and the Owls have tied it up 10 apiece as Kendrick, active on the defensive end, nearly intercepts a pass. Timeout coming here on the floor, 10 apiece, as we are just about 5 minutes into this one. Back in just a moment here from the Bosch, part of this Brevard College and Warren Wilson doubleheader. Back out of the break, no changes yet for the Tornado lineup. Tornado ball, game knotted up at 10 apiece early on. Horton, right side, Quincy Carter finds a wide open cutting Jaden Carnes, who slams it down. Carnes with 5 early on. A defensive breakdown there from the Owls as Hines, in front of the Tornado bench, tries to fit in a pass to Banuelos. It's knocked out by KK Horton. Banuelos finding Wheatley in the corner, blanketed by Jaden Carnes. Now Banuelos. Down low, pass to Hines, turns around, fires up over the smaller Evans, cannot find it. Carson Evans with the rebound. And now feathering the brakes and the gas, going up the court, gives to Carnes. Up top, Quincy Carter wide open for 3. Cannot hit. Banuelos with the board. And now going to try and spin around on Evans, loses the basketball. LB, 3-on-2. Boyette goes up himself, can't hit. And the rebound brought in by Yoshi Kendrick. Knocked out of his hands, but by Brevard, so it will go Warren Wilson's way. 12-10 Tornado lead, about 6 minutes into this one. Hines on Horton, tries to make a little move on him, and it's ripped by Horton. KK going up, off the glass, pure. KK Horton with 5 early points for himself. Kendrick guarded up by KK. He's saying, try me again. As Wheatley gets the basketball, Quincy Carter harassing him. Tries to go right to left. Quincy, a wall on defense. Banuelos guarded by Boyette. 10 on the shot clock. Banuelos for 3, connects. The official saying to fix the net. Owls trailing by 1 here. Banuelos with the tray ball. 6.5 into this one. Quincy Carter with the basketball, and now KK Horton. Horton ranging to his left, finds Carson Evans, now Quincy Carter. Quincy surveying, gives to Evans, around Wheatley, stepping back, fires the mid-range and hits it.
Tornado basket by number 10, Carson Evans.
Wheatley with the basketball. NATO's leading at 16-13, 7 minutes in. Banuelos to his left, tries to find Wheatley, backdoor, does. Wheatley back to Banuelos, goes up for the 2. Evans quickly gives off to LB Boyette. Now KK working on Wheatley. Back to LB. Boyette floating one over the head of Jaden Carnes. It'll go the other way now. our first substitutions of the ball game, Charles Reed and Charlie Hester. Couple of chucks coming into this one. Hester, 12 points in the victory against Suwannee, 4 for 4 from the field. And now a timeout coming here, and that gives us a chance to look at Coach Burgess's keys to the game. A 30-second timeout for the Owls. Coach Burgess had 3 things for us when it came to his keys of the game. Defend the drive, limit second shot chances, and don't settle for contested shots. As far as second chance points go for the Owls, they have 5, and the Tornadoes actually yet to get one. As far as shooting contested shots, the Tornadoes are 7 of 10 from the field. You can't ask for much better than a 70% clip, and have done a fairly good job of defending the drive. It's just that Warren Wilson has knocked down a couple of three-pointers, 6 of their 15 coming from a pair of trays. A little over 7 minutes in to this contest. Warren Wilson basketball trailing by 1. Newly checked in for Warren Wilson is number 12, Marcus Andrews. Hines on Charles Reed, one of the better Tornado defenders. That one's into traffic, taken away. Charlie Hester, Quincy Carter, left side. Carnes stops for a moment, whips a pass to Charles Reed. Off the glass. Too easy for the Tornado offense. Lead back up to 3. Banuelos gives to Kendrick. Charles Reed switches on. Kendrick fires a 3. Too strong. And that'll be out of bounds, heading the Tornadoes' way. Now coming in for Warren Wilson is number 30, Netis Naksikas. Naksikas out of Lithuania. So we've had a couple of foreign players in this one. We saw on the Warren Wilson women's team a player, Sojak from Poland, as Jaden Carnes gets it up top, going to shoot another 3. This one off the mark. Rebound hauled in by Banuelos, who urges Naksikas up the court. Banuelos loses a handle for a moment, now defers to Wheatley on the left wing. Wheatley between the legs, looking for something, now has Naksikas, who's going to drive in immediately off Horton. He's stripped, but it'll stay with Warren Wilson. So immediate timeout coming here now, and all of a sudden feels like stoppages at every turn. 11:28 to go in the ball game. NATO's leading it by 3, 18-15. Back here in just a moment from the Bosch. I am Brady Penn. Do not go anywhere. Tornado basketball. Out of the media timeout, Tornadoes with a 3-point cushion. 11:28 to play, closing on the halfway mark of this first half. Sly White checked in for the Tornadoes. For Warren Wilson, Aaron Cuthbertson. Naksikas looking for an inbound, has Cotton. Kendrick trying to work on Quincy Carter. Naksikas once again. Back to Kendrick. 3 on the shot clock. Kendrick from way downtown, blocked by Quincy Carter. Charles Reed over to KK Horton. Left wing, KK. Back to Charles. Moving over to his left, now getting a screen from Sly White. It's ripped out of his hands. Charles is hit and a foul.
House foul number 5, Aaron Cuthbertson.
A foul there against the newly checked in Cuthbertson.
First, team's third.
Third team foul for Warren Wilson as the pass floated into Quincy Carter. He gives to KK. Hand back to Quincy. Around a screen from White. Between the legs. Dancing. Going inside. Floating it up. Too strong. And a blocking foul against Nasir Cotton. So the fourth Warren Wilson foul coming here.
House foul number 1, Nasir Cotton.
2 free throws coming here for number 4 as Chancey Watson will check in for the first time.
Line for the Tornadoes, number 4, Quincy Carter. Entering
So Chancey will have to wait to check in here. Quincy good on the first. And the second as well. Fruitful trip for Quincy Carter. And now driving inside quickly is Kendrick. High off the glass, and it rolls around and in. Pretty layup there from Yoshi Kendrick. And the Owls, much like they were in the first half of the women's game, hanging tough here early on. Reed, up top, Sly White, one dribble, pass Hester. Hester from deep, rattles in and out. And the rebound knocked up in the air to Yoshi Kendrick. Coming up the floor quickly, loses Watson, goes up, and one. Kendrick, 7 points now, a chance to make it 8.
foul number 32, Chancey Watson, his first.
Playing really good basketball so far. And Kendrick, no good on the free throw. As Charles Reed moves to his left, up top, dangerous pass nearly taken away by Kendrick. Instead, Sly White has it, puts up a floater, can't knock it down. Charlie Hester with the offensive rebound. Watson gives it over to Carter in space up top. Quincy calling out the play, now ranges to his left, looking for Reed. Reed in traffic between defenders, floats it up, cannot hit it. And Kendrick with another rebound. Kendrick working on Reed. The ball is grabbed by Charles. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow will point towards the Nados.
Jump ball, possession arrow, Tornado.
Tornado possession. Now Charles calling out a play. Hester, left side, Chancey Watson. Chancey, Reed, now Quincy Carter. Back to Reed, defers to Charlie Hester. Charlie clearing out, gives to Quincy Carter. Watson looking for a cutter. Instead, Carter firing up a straightaway 3. Can't get it to roll in. Ball out of bounds. Will stay, or will go the Owls' way, rather. $9:20 to go here in half number 1. Dylan Wheatley. Pass over to Kendrick. Into the corner, Cuthbertson. Kendrick. Next, Sekas, guarded by Quincy Carter. Turning around. Corner, Nasir Cotton. Pass taken away, Charlie Hester. Hester in the open court. Here comes Charlie. Tries to go for the jam and is fouled. Charlie Hester thought he had him one. Going up for the jam. And for those of you unfamiliar, Charlie Hester, the brother of Josie Hester, who we saw put on a clinic with 17 in that previous game against Warren Wilson before this. Charlie gets into the scoring there. He's only put up one shot, did not hit it. Knocks down that first free throw. Jeremy Posner will make his first entrance into this one. Posner, a graduate guard out of Miami, Florida, came over from Pace in New York. Both free throws good there for Charlie Hester. Now Banuelos back in, gives over to Kendrick. Kendrick, step back 3, Off the mark. Posner with the rebound. Gives to Chansey. Watson guarded by Banuelos. Posner up top. Moves to his left. Hester left alone. Charles Reed goes up with the left. Easy basket there. A couple of defensive breakdowns here early on for Warren Wilson. 8:24 to go. NATO's leading by 5 here in the first half. Banuelos gets tangled up on Reed, throws up a shot, and a late whistle. The official kind of bailed out Banuelos with that one. That looked like good defense by Charles Reed, and he just kind of got caught up on him and threw up a shot to try and engage a whistle, and he did just that. 2 free throws coming here for Banuelos. Third Tornado foul. First free throw good for Banuelos. Second one, bit off the back iron, but does fall. As Charles hustling up the floor to beat Nexikas to the spot. Now to his left. Posner up top, Sly White. One dribble, pass Watson. Transition 3, too strong. Banuelos up the right side, head fake, and a blocking foul against Jeremy Posner. He had the feed down and set it. Looked for sure like it was going to be a charge. Instead, it'll be a foul against Posner. Media timeout coming here, and Coach Burgess wants an explanation from the official. We'll step aside for a moment. Tornadoes leading by 3. Just under 8 minutes to go here in half number 1 in the Bosch. Back out of the timeout, and you see the official on that far side kind of explaining to Jeremy Posner the thought process on that blocking foul. Looked like Posner had the perfect taking a charge technique, but not to be a defensive foul as Cotton gets the ball swatted, rejected by Sly White, and Chansey Watson picks it up off the ground. Charles pushing the tempo, gives to Hester left wing. Charlie, Sly White looking around, up top Charles Reed. Posner thinks about it, stepping back, fires up a three-pointer, can't hit, rebound, Charlie Hester, what a putback. Charlie Hester grabbed the rebound and in midair readjusted to put up the layup. Another 2 for the Tornadoes. Banuelos. Both Hesters have been a very welcome addition to Brevard College basketball, as Banuelos going to put up a 3 of his own way off. An air ball against the Owls. By the Owls. Banuelos not able to catch any of the rim there. NATO's leading by 5, 7:13 to go here in half number 1. Hester, Posner, over to Watson. Now right elbow Charlie Hester on Nexikas. Turning around, going up through contact, almost gets the and one. Instead, he'll settle for 2 free throws. Foul number 6 on the Owls, so 1 more, and the Tornadoes will be in the bonus for the rest of the half. That's on Nexikas.
Team foul number 6.
Banuelos complaining that a lack of communication is out on the floor for the Owls as Hester knocks down another free throw.
Entering the match for the Owls, number 4, Jason Hines.
Coming back in is Jason Hines for Warren Wilson. Nexikas back over to the bench. And Hester can't come up with a second free throw. Now Bonuelos will push the pace. Posner on him. Bonuelos tries to fit it into Cotton. It's knocked away towards the Tornado bench. Last touched by a Tornado, so it'll stay with Warren Wilson. 6-point lead right now for the Tornadoes. And a pass way over the head of Cotton, but he's able to corral it. Sly White on him over in the left corner now. Backdoor pass to Hines. He goes up and gets it off the left side of the glass. Jason Hines with the basket there. Now Charles Reed gives to Hester. Starting to get a little bit more active scoring here as this first half progresses. Hester, left wing, gets doubled. Gives to White. Sly up off the glass and a foul against Nasir Cotton. So the Tornadoes will be in the bonus for the final 6 minutes and 25 seconds of half number one. Holding a 4-point lead as it stands. Sly White heading to the stripe with a chance for two more. And in and out for Sly White on free throw number one. Back in is Marcus Andrews. Nasir Cotton will take a break. Sly can't hit either one. So here comes Bonuelos. Tornadoes an empty trip to the free throw line. Left side Wheatley working on Hester. Tries to spin around. No room. Bonuelos going up. Cannot get it. Charlie Hester pulling in the board. And now here's Chansey. Right side. Back up top to Charlie. Dribbling with his left. Gives to Posner. Jeremy Posner. Moving around. Gives to Watson. Hester. Back to Chansey. 12 on the shot clock. Watson finds a backdoor. Charles Reed goes up. Can't get the layup. Charles wanted a foul. Didn't get one. Bonuelos scoops it over to Kendrick. Three ball. Nowhere near. Kendrick, not sure if he didn't set the feet or what there, but an ugly shot. 5:42 remaining here in half number one. 27-23 Tornado lead. The scoring has slowed a lot down here these past few minutes. As again, under the basket, wide open is Sly White. Charlie Hester didn't miss him. Lead up to 6 with 5:25 remaining. Hines trying to put a move on Watson with his left hand. Gives over to Andrews. It's off his foot. Posner has it. Jeremy Posner in the open court. Trying not to lose the basketball. It'll stay with Brevard. Nexika's coming back in. Kendrick will take a seat after that three-point air ball. Does not look happy about it. Doesn't look very happy with head coach Chris Horton with the leash there. Reed getting ready to inbound. Official is not ready. Charles floats that one into Posner. Now Chansey Watson. Chansey bringing Hester towards him. Back to Chansey. Right to left. Now Posner. Up top Sly. A dribble. A handoff to Hester. Picked up. Goes between two defenders. Dishes it off to White. Charlie Hester showing off the passing ability these last few possessions. Second assist for Charlie Hester. Or third, actually. 31-23 lead for the Nados as Hines pulls a mid-range. Can't knock it down. Charlie Hester with the rebound. Hester filling up the stat sheet right now as Charles Reed comes up the right side. Up top, Chansey Watson. To his left, Posner. Three ball is not there. That one will go out of bounds and head Warren Wilson's way. Just under 4.5 to go. 8-point lead for Brevard. And a timeout. NATO's leading at 31-23, and we'll take another look at those keys to the game that Coach Burgess had pointed out. First off, defend the drive. Well, the Tornadoes have done a great job of that. Have put pressure on the Owls just about every time they've decided to take the ball into the paint. As for shooting from deep, well, Warren Wilson has cooled down. They were 2 of 6. Since then, 0 for 5, 2 for 11 as a whole from deep in this one. Brevard not much better, 1 for 9 from beyond the arc, but 50% from the field as a whole, have knocked down 11 twos. And from the free throw line, Brevard only 50% there. Not an area you want to be 50% at. Also said to limit second shot chances, did Coach Burgess. And as far as that goes, they have. Tornadoes not allowing a whole lot of offensive rebounds in this one. Only 2 for Warren Wilson. So they've done a good job limiting that. Don't settle for contested shots, once again, was the final point of emphasis for Coach Burgess. And I'd say for the most part, the Tornadoes are doing a good job of that. They're finding the open man, and good things are happening as a result. I mean, shoot, if Warren Wilson wants to continue to not guard Sly White in the paint, it looks like Charlie Hester will take it every time, although that last one not quite as easy in terms of degree of difficulty. Charlie whipped that thing in there to Sly, who was able to go up and get the 2. Up the floor is Bonuelos. Nexikas. Up top, Wheatley, left alone, hit one earlier, can't hit that one. Charles Reed. Up the right side, 4:09 to play in half number 1. Charles moving to his left, gives to Hester. Sly White moving to his left, back to Charlie. Charlie gonna spin around, thinks about the free throw line jumper, now pulls it in and out. Wheatley with the board. Coming up now, picked up by Jeremy Posner. Dylan Wheatley scanning the floor, wants some movement. Now going to his right. Nexikas going to try and get by Reed. Spinning around, putting it up, no good. Rebound Sly White. Chancey Watson with the basketball now up the left side. Slowing it down a bit. A couple NATOs getting ready to check back in. Charlie Hester, right wing, floats it in Watson. Watson knocked up in the air. Posner going inside, scoops it over to Reed, who goes up, can't finish the layup. Hines racing up the floor. Pass knocked up in the air. Charles Reed has it. Posner, 2-on-2. Jeremy, Euro step off the glass and 1. Jeremy Posner with a nice finish there. Put the perfect amount of English on the basketball off the glass, and a chance for a 3-point play as 4 different NATOs getting ready to come into the ball game now. Horton, Evans, Boyette, and Carnes. Charles Reed coming away with a steal there. Jeremy Posner, his first points of the ball game. He's got 2, a chance to make it 3 here with the free throw. NATO's lead up to double figures now, and it increases there. 11-point lead for the Tornadoes. 3:12 to go in half number 1. Bonuelos calling out the play. Guarded by Evans. Here's Kendrick on Carnes. Euro step, goes up, blocked by Posner. Jeremy Posner starting to create a little bit more activity here late in the first half. Kendrick up top to Wheatley, guarded by Horton. Wheatley gets by and puts up a layup and gets it.
Basket by number 15, Dylan Wheatley.
Lead back down to 9 as Posner finds LB Boyette, who goes to KK. LB once more. To his left, Carson Evans. Now Jaden Carnes up top. Horton fakes the 3, now behind the back. Driving inside with the right, loses the ball. Corner, Evans, 3-ball, bang! Carson Evans from deep. Bonuelos, less than 2.5 to go here in half number 1. Kendrick tries to get one into Nexikas. Quick turnaround jumper, no good. Evans, rebound. Carson racing up the floor, wants more points. Corner, KK Horton fakes and touched just out of bounds. It'll be a turnover as Quincy Carter going to come in for the final 2 minutes and 12 seconds of this half. 12-point Tornado lead, 37-25. Associate head coach Miles Leathers barking out some instructions for his defense. Kendrick over to Wheatley. Pressured from Carnes. Wheatley Tries to get one into Andrews and does. Marcus Andrews going inside on Carter. Picks up his dribble. Wheatley once more trying to get through from Carnes. Gets away with a walk. Puts up a floater and hits it. Looked like Wheatley took about 4 or 5 steps there, unnoticed by the officials. 1:40 to go here in the first half. Quincy gets one in. Nice pass to KK Horton. Into the corner, LB Boyette left side. Keeps his feet in bounds. Slowing down. Doubled. Looking for a pass has Evans. Carson. A move and a travel. NATO's leading by 10. 1:26 to go here in half number 1. Against a Warren Wilson defense that has allowed 106 points a game so far. NATO is being held well under that pace so far as Kendrick sets his feet. A 3 from straight away, too strong. Rebound Quincy Carter. Quincy over to KK. KK thinks about a 3 of his own, instead defers to Evans. Carter up top, guarded by Banuelos. Gives to LB. LB, nice pass. Carnes off the glass. 2 more for the Tornadoes. Jaden Carnes with 7 points, leading all Tornadoes. As Cuthbertson goes up with a left-hand layup, can't get it. Banuelos tries to put it back up and cannot. KK, no look. Quincy Carter goes up and gets 2 more for Brevard. NATO's pulling away here late in the first half, 14-point lead. 38 seconds to go. Andrews bodies Evans, puts it up too strong. Rebound Boyette knocked out of his hands. It'll go the NATO's way.
Tornadoes basketball.
And a timeout coming here for Brevard. For these final 30 seconds, 41-27 lead. We will step aside for just a moment. Back here from the Bosch momentarily. Fresh out of the timeout, NATO's holding a 14-point lead. Can take the last shot. Not sure if they will with 26 seconds and counting here in the first half. 41-27 Tornadoes. KK Horton. Banuelos on him. He eyes the clock while maintaining his dribble. And it looks like they will try for the last shot, or at least try to get close to it. KK, LB. Carnes, Quincy, wide open in the corner. Evans can't hit. Offensive rebound off the hands of Horton. Carnes fighting for it. 2-1 on the floor. That'll be the half. Thought they might whistle a jump ball. Even if they did, the possession arrow was going Warren Wilson's way. And the Tornadoes will head to the locker room with a 14-point lead. Much like the women's version that we saw in the 5 o'clock ball game, Warren Wilson hanging tough and playing a lot better basketball than many would give them credit for coming into tonight. Not reflective so far tonight of their past scores and results. Jaden Carnes, 7 points. Quincy Carter with 6. Carson Evans with 5. For Warren Wilson, Yoshi Kendrick and Antonio Banuelos have combined for 15. Kendrick with 8. Banuelos with 7. Taking a look really quickly before we head to the break at the team stats. Tornadoes shooting over 50% from the field. Warren Wilson only 32%. Both teams shooting poorly from beyond the arc. Rebounding, Tornadoes winning that battle 24-18, 21-15 on the defensive side of the glass. 5 lead changes. Tornadoes spent 17 minutes of the first half in the lead, however, have led for about 86% of this game. 10 assists for the NATOs, only 5 turnovers, 16 bench points, 0 bench points for Warren Wilson, 3 blocks as well, and 7 steals on the defensive end. So very active Tornadoes have been on defense. And for Brevard, Charlie Hester kind of started to do it all there towards the end of the half. 5 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, a couple of rebounds, 4 of them actually, to be exact, 2 offensive rebounds. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, 1 of 3 as a whole. He is putting together a good game so far. 6 points for Quincy with 2 boards and a block. And as we head to the break, about 14 minutes away from the second half, Tornadoes leading at 41-27. I'm your announcer, Brady Penn, and we will be back here for the second half in just a couple of minutes. Hang tight, folks. Tornado basketball back in just a few. Back at the Bosch, about 2 minutes away from the start of the second half. Tornadoes leading at 41-27, led in scoring by Jaden Carnes. Right behind him, Quincy Carter, 7 and 6 respectively between the two of them. And then 3 NATOs with 5 points, Evans, Horton, and Hester. And as a whole, Tornadoes really doing everything that's been asked of them by Coach Lee Burgess. Obviously, might not score as much as you possibly think that you quote-unquote should, as this is a Warren Wilson team that is averaging 106 points per game allowed, but that might be a little bit oversaturated. I mean, they gave up 83 in a 2-point loss to Methodist the other day, which is about what the NATOs are tracking for, but Piedmont and William Peace are both kind of juggernauts, at least in terms of this level of basketball. William Peace definitely one of the best teams that I've seen since I started calling games, and in those 2 games, Warren Wilson gave up 122 and 113. Not sure we'll see triple figures from the Tornadoes tonight unless they have a hot final 20 minutes. But regardless of how many points they have, you cannot be mad at the team that's shooting over 50% from the field, and they're holding Warren Wilson to 32% from the field and 15% from deep. So really not much more you can ask for on either side of the ball, minus a couple of minor tweaks here and there perhaps. We'll see what lineup the Tornadoes come out with, whether it's the regular starting 5 that we saw to start the game or not. Same for Warren Wilson. Wonder if we'll see more of Nick Sikis in half number 2. He did not get into the scoring, but does have kind of some interest, at least in my eyes, as a player that kind of looks the part, and from what we see, kind of looks like he's just not taking certain shots, not being super aggressive. But the Lithuanian senior, see if he can get anything going for the Owls, but as it stands for Warren Wilson, leading scorers Yoshi Kendrick with 8, and then Antonio Banuelos with 7. Will be the same 5 that the NATOs started this one off with. Same for Warren Wilson, so it'll be Hines. We'll start things off with the inbound to Kendrick. Kendrick, possibly a clock violation. Does seem to be, yes, a clock violation. Hines into Kendrick, will try it again. Kendrick gets it in to Banuelos, who cannot hit the reverse. Had a wide open look, a good pass from Kendrick, and the Owls come up empty-handed. KK Horton handling the basketball, gives to LB. KK charging inside, flings one into the corner. Quincy Carter connects. Quincy Carter from deep to get the scoring started here in the second half as Banuelos goes up and possibly just answered himself. Knocked down the layup and a chance for a 3-point play.
Foul number 10, Carson Evans. His first, team's first.
.5-point lead for the Tornadoes, cut down to 14 on the Banuelos free throw. So a couple of 3-point plays on either side, one coming from the 3 and one coming from the and 1. Quincy with the basketball again, gives to KK. KK fires one in. Carnes, extra pass. Evans cannot hit the layup. That was a great feed by Jaden Carnes as Banuelos calling for the basketball. Kendrick ignores and instead will charge inside on Evans. Eurostep, floats it up, good off the glass.
Basket by number 2, Yoshi Kendrick.
Kendrick cuts the lead back down to 12, about a minute and a half into the second half. Carter has it once more up top, charging in right hand, puts it up off the glass and gets it. Quincy Carter does a little glimpse of the too small gesture there. It's Banuelos to Kendrick. Kendrick pass in to Banuelos. Turning around, goes up on Boyette and can't finish. Rebound snatched out of the air by LB. Boyette, right side, tries to go off a bounce pass to Jaden Carnes. Instead hits the foot of Nasir Cotton. Now Evans to inbound. LB, right wing. KK up top. Back to LB. Fires, great pass into Carnes, but it is rejected by Nasir Cotton. That was a really good feed with some good heat on it by Boyette. Carnes went up and got rejected as Boyette has it in the right corner. KK up top to his left, Quincy Carter. Now Jaden Carnes. Carnes, a dribble, a handoff Quincy. Another tray, can't get that one. It was online but didn't have quite enough as Banuelos comes up with it. And now Wheatley going inside and a foul on Quincy Carter. Wheatley, I think, thought the whistle was on him. He was ready to turn around and plead his case on whatever the call may be, and then he realized it was on Quincy. So already the second foul on the Tornadoes here in half number 2. Banuelos looking. Now under the basket, Cotton. Cotton trapped, gives up to Hines. Hines can't finish on the layup, and a late whistle. It'll go against Boyette. Third foul already in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. Tornadoes need to be a little bit more disciplined or else Warren Wilson will spend a lot of time in that bonus. Hines taps in that first free throw. One more on the way. Good off of the roll. Two more for Warren Wilson. Lead back to 12 for BC. Early on here in half number 2, Horton to his right. Carter fires one into Carnes and a foul. That one will be against Cotton. First foul against the Owls.
Foul number 1, Nasir Cotton. Fourth personal foul.
Nexikas will come in and get Cotton. Carson Evans to inbound. Finds Quincy. Now KK. To his right, quick pass off the ground to Carter. Extra pass to Evans. He finishes this time.
Number 10, Carson Evans.
7 for Evans. As spinning around is Banuelos trying to go up over Carson and will knock it down. Carson, long pass down the floor. Carnes blocked. At least a piece of it was gotten there by Kendrick. Nexikas up the floor, puts it up off the glass and one. Another foul against the Tornadoes. 4 fouls already, 3 minutes into half number 2. And another three-point play coming here for the Owls. A chance to cut the lead back down to single digits.
Foul number 10, Carson Evans, his second. Team foul number 4. Enter the contest for the Tornadoes, number 3, Charles Reed.
That coming into the game now, Charles Reed. Carson Evans will head over to the bench. Nexikas gets the three-point play. Free throw good. And here's Charles. Reed, Carter, Horton, LB. Back to Charles. Up top, Carnes. One dribble. Horton ranges to his right, tries to fit one into Carnes, and it's knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Banuelos, who leads the scoring for the Owls with 12. Charles finds LB in the far side corner. Up top, Quincy. Back to LB, away from a screen from Carnes, now towards it. Step back three. Oh, in and out. That was nice, but the offensive rebound hauled in Jaden Carnes. LB driving in, putting it up, layup there. So LB sticks with it. and gets 2 more for the Tornadoes. Banuelos, Euro step over Reed, gets the basket.
Basket by number 3, Antonio Banuelos.
KK Horton now to Reed. Now Carter fakes it to his left, fakes to his right, now gives to Carnes. Jaden has some space. Floater, pure. Jaden Carnes with 9 points. Banuelos, 14 points for him, a game high. Gives off to Kendrick. 3 ball, too strong. Rebound, Banuelos going up between defenders, can't finish. LB Boyette has the ball knocked out of his hands, and a foul. Looks like it'll be against Banuelos. Second foul against Warren Wilson.
His first.
And a timeout on the floor. 4.5 into the second half. Tornadoes holding an 11-point lead, 52-41. Back here in just a moment out of the break. .11 lead for the Tornadoes out of the timeout. KK Horton will resume things here with an inbound pass. It's Charles Reed, guarded by Nexikis, and he hands back to KK. LB Boyette gives to KK once more. KK thinks he has space, stops, pops, hits.
Tornado basket number 11, KK Horton.
KK Horton with the bucket. Now Banuelos over to Kendrick, fakes the 3, trying to find space on KK, spinning around, going up, too strong, gets his own rebound and puts it up off the glass. A clap in the face of KK Horton. NATO's still leading it by 11. 5 minutes into the second half. LB with the ball. KK. Boyette. Up top, now ranging to the right. Carnes hands back to LB. Still time on the shot clock. It's down to 10. LB charging in. Gives to Quincy. It's off his hand. Recovered by KK. Carnes, 5 on the shot clock. KK goes inside. Corner. Boyette blocked on the 3 ball. And now the Tornadoes will have to fire one up quickly. 1 second left on the shot clock once this thing gets inbounded. Going to have to be a catch and shoot situation. It'll be Charles to inbound from the corner. I imagine they might try and get LB a look here. It's deflected, and not sure why the clock was able to run when the ball had not touched anybody's hands. It's a shot clock violation for the Tornadoes. Banuelos. Wheatley trying to get inside on Horton. He's rejected, and another whistle blown against the Tornadoes. 5th foul for the NATOs already. 2nd foul for Horton. That looked like a clean block, but KK must have caught some of the wrist, and now he's teed up. Whatever KK Horton had to say, the official did not like. He was not animated in any sort of way, but Coach Burgess still not going to be happy with that one. Seems to be accepting of the decision by the official. First free throw good there from Wheatley, as is the second. NATO lead back down to 9 as Chancey Watson checks in. 2 more shots coming here for Wheatley, a chance to add to his stats. He's got 8. Could get into double figures with these next 2 free throws. KK Horton sitting there in frustration on the bench. That one short for Wheatley. And that one no good too, so 0 for 2 on that trip. But Banuelos gets the rebound into the corner. Next Seekas, 3, short. Charles Reed with the basketball now. NATO's going to try and weather the storm. That was kind of extrapolated by the referees. As Carnes has the basketball. To his right, Charles Reed. LB trying to get position. Gets inside. Trapped by 2 defenders. Pass. Carnes inside. 8 on the shot clock. Floater too strong. That one goes up and goes in. I think that was knocked up in the air by a Warren Wilson Owl. And it ended up in the net as that one knocked away Charles Reed. Chancey Watson with it. Looking for a pass. He loses the basketball. Needed someone else to touch it so he didn't get a dribble. Double dribble. LB up and under. Number 5 with the basket. What a wild sequence as the 3 no good there by Banuelos. We'll recap what just happened here in a second. Charles Reed comes up with the left side. Carnes has the ball knocked out of his hands. A Warren Wilson defender tipped the rebound up in the air, and it ended up in the basket. 2 points for Brevard, and then a steal by Charles Reed was taken in by Chancey Watson, who nearly double dribbled. Heads up play by him to tell LB Boyette, you have to come grab the ball so I don't get whistled for this double dribble and turn the ball over. LB did that and then finished with a spectacular move at the rim. Charlie Hester checked in now for the NATOs. Pass to Carnes for 3. Bang! Jaden Carnes from three-point land, and the lead's back up to 16. Kendrick, pass and a timeout for Warren Wilson. Owls will stop the clock here. 12:43 to go in this one. 61-45 NATO's lead, and what a hectic sequence once again that was just a second ago. Couple of culprits there. Not sure who knocked in that one tip. I believe it gets credited to Jaden Carnes' stat line. And then LB had the acrobatic layup in the air. And then Jaden followed that up with another three-pointer. Charlie Hester picking up his 4th assist there. Charlie Hester, a guy that we've normally seen kind of act as more of a shooter, kind of dishing it out a bit more here tonight in this one. The second half has been tightly contested. 20-18 Brevard advantage so far. Leading by 16, 61-45. The tally here in the Bosch so far on Chick Martin Court. $12:43 to go. NATO's leading it. Same 5 for Brevard. See if any changes are made here for Warren Wilson, and no, there is not. Kendrick looking for a target. Goes up top to Hines. Hines moving left to right. Picks up his dribble, fires up, can't hit. Rebound Quincy Carter. Quincy playing with Hines a little bit there, the freshman. And he hands off to Charles Reed. Hester, Watson, Reed, right elbow. Charles hooking around, going up, short. Rebound through the hands of Charlie Hester and brought in by Nexikas. Banuelos has been scoring a lot for the Owls, spinning around, loses the basketball, and it's kept in bounds by Quincy Carter. Quincy finds Carnes left alone under the basket. 2 more for the NATOs.
Basket number 12.
Kendrick racing full speed ahead to the rim and gets the basket. Another clap from Kendrick. Doesn't quite have the same effect when you're down 16. Watson, Hester, Carter, now Reed. Charlie Hester, right side. Pass with the left hand to Watson. Chansey, nice move. Step back three. Just misses. Nexicus with the rebound. And he'll try and go coast to coast here. Putting it up, block Charles Reed, who saves it to Jaden Carnes. Jaden, nice pass. Watson, Carter going up. Layup is there. 18-point lead for the Tornadoes. 11:15 to go. Banuelos bringing it up. Marcus Andrews getting ready to check in for Warren Wilson. As Banuelos into the corner, Hines trying to get space on Carter, and now a foul on Quincy, and that will put Warren Wilson in the bonus for the rest of this contest. Immediate timeout. NATO's exploding on a run here these last few minutes, and the lead is up to 18. We'll be back here in just a moment from the Bosch. Tornadoes in control. Back at the Bosch, Sly White checking in for the NATOs. Marcus Andrews in for the Owls. Hines, 1-1. Knocks down the first. Second free throw, same result. Inbound here to Chansey, who gives Charles Reed. Charles to Quincy Carter. Hester back to Chansey, guarded by Wheatley. Up top, Sly White. Hester left alone from deep. Cannot knock it down. But the offensive rebound, Sly White. Watson. Up top, moving to his right, moving Charlie Hester around, gives to Reed, and now an offensive foul against Charlie Hester. And the officials with some active whistles against the Tornadoes. 8 fouls to 2 in terms of the second half. Kendrick with the basketball on the left wing, trying to work on Watson. Floats a pass over the head of Posner to Wheatley. Wheatley easy two. No help down in the paint. So here's Chansey. NATO's holding a 14-point lead. Posner up top, Sly White. Hester tries to get a pass in. It's knocked up in the air, but he recovers it himself. Watson back to Charlie. Hester, Reed from deep. Cannot hit. That one, rebound knocked out of bounds by Kendrick. It'll stay with the Tornadoes. Charles to inbound from the baseline. Under 10 minutes to go here. NATO's leading by 14. Hester with the basketball. Chansey. Little head fake on Nexicus. Now gives to Hester. Charlie moving to his left. Posner. 3-ball. Can't hit off the back iron. Andrews with the basketball. Losing it. It goes into the face of Jeremy Posner. But last touched by Warren Wilson, I believe. And Well, that was the initial ruling. Instead, they're going to give it to Warren Wilson. Posner is saying it hit off his face. The two officials don't seem to see eye to eye on this one. And the call will be reversed to Warren Wilson basketball. As much as Jeremy Posner disagrees with it, I do think that he was the last one to touch it, or at least his face was. Kendrick, high pass, hauled in with one hand by Wheatley, who goes inside on Hester, pulls a mid-range jumper, can't connect. Charles Reed with the rebound, he loses the basketball. Scrum on the floor for it, Wheatley has it, but it's a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go Brevard's way. Warren Wilson to the timeout here, 9:25 to go. NATO's leading at 65-51. Just taking a look at how we got here. 14-point lead. The gap as big as the point total accumulated by the NATO's leading scorer, Jaden Carnes. He has 14. Right next to him, Quincy Carter, 13. So 27 combined between those two. And right behind them, Carson Evans with 7 point. A good group scoring effort, you could say, aside from those top two scorers. 7 points each for Evans and Horton. 6 points for Boyette, 5 for Hester, 4 for Reed and White, and then 3 for Posner. Knocked down one of his shots. Hit a free throw as well. It was a 3-point play. Only Tornado to check in without scoring is Chancey Watson, who's only took 2 shots in 12 minutes, has 2 rebounds and an assist. Not a lot of shooting tonight for Mr. Watson. Tornadoes back on the floor here. Same 5. And the Owls going with the same unit as well. $9:25 remaining. Hines trying to find somebody to pass it to, floats it into Andrews, and another foul on the Tornadoes. That's 9. The discrepancy is kind of bizarre, I guess one could say. And now 1-1 for Marcus Andrews. It'll be against Chancey Watson. That's his second. Chancey still having some complaints, but going to try to not get teed up like KK Horton did. First free throw good for Andrews. Will stay right here. Andrews, second free throw too strong. Rebound Jeremy Posner. And now Charles up the floor. 9:17 to go. Posner over to Reed. Reed has some space. Passes into the corner. It's taken away by Kendrick. But Sly White dives on the ground and has it. Ball still on the ground. It'll stay with Brevard. It'll be a foul against Warren Wilson. That'll go against the newly checked in Deshaun Handy. We have not seen to this point. Chancey Watson fits one into Jeremy Posner behind the three-point line. Now Chancey once again around a screen from Sly White. Left side, Posner goes inside past White. Floats it up, can't get it, rattles in and out. Ball knocked out to Jeremy Posner. NATO's retain the possession. Charles Reed not in any hurry here. Moving to his left now, gives to Chancey. Sly White, a dribble. Hester from three-point land, no good, in and out. Nexikas brings the ball up for Warren Wilson. Takes it in, pass to the corner. Wheatley, 3-ball, hits that. Dylan Wheatley with 13 points. And all of a sudden, this game's back to a 10-point lead. Hester, Watson. Chancey back to Sly White. A dribble, a pass to Posner. In the left side, left elbow, Chancey Watson turning around, loses Wheatley. Nice move there, a dream shake from Chancey Watson. Wheatley trying to get his get back here. Turning around, he'll pass it off instead. Handy. Wheatley, left wing. Going inside now, redirecting, puts up the layup and gets it. Wanted the foul, did not get it. 15 points for Dylan Wheatley. Now he leads all scorers. Jeremy Posner floats one into Sly White, who's trying to get the action going. Up top, Charlie Hester trying to lose his man. Gives to Chancey Watson. 7:19 to go. NATO's leading by 10. Posner, right wing, redirects to his left. Picks his dribble up. White, 10 on the shot clock. Sly looking. Watson, left wing, thinks about Hester. Instead, he'll dribble himself. Step back three off the mark to the left. Rebound brought in by Andrews and a hard foul there. And 2 free throws coming now for the Owls as they are in the double bonus. KK Horton was getting ready to check in. Instead, we will have a media timeout with 7:02 to go. This game is winding up as a tighter contest than Coach Burgess and company wanted to see, especially when you look at the resume from Warren Wilson. Again, a team that is 0-3 and has gotten blown out to the max in 2 of those 3 losses. But again, you can't really analyze basketball that way. I mean, to a certain extent, but what happens one game is no guarantee to happen another. And even what happens over 3 games, there's no guarantee it's happening in the 4th. Like we're seeing here tonight, Warren Wilson came here playing probably their best basketball of the season, and they find themselves down 10 to, in my opinion, although the record doesn't reflect it yet, a pretty good Brevard team. A team with depth, with veteran experience, and with good guys at kind of all the spots you need. You got good scorers, good defenders, good facilitators, and for some reason or another, Warren Wilson hanging tough just like their women counterparts did for most of that contest until Brevard pulled away late. And maybe we'll see the same thing here, hopefully. As Marcus Andrews will head to the stripe for 2 shots. Again, Warren Wilson in the double bonus for the rest of this one. Andrews has 1 point, went to the free throw line once, and he missed that one. He's 1 for 3. 14 minutes for Andrews, not very active in the scoring department. Let's see if he can cash in on the second. He does. Looked like it might be just short, but it rolled in. KK Horton. Less than 7 to go. 9-point game. Hester tries to fit in a pass to Horton, fighting for it on the ground with Wheatley, and it'll be Warren Wilson basketball. Tornadoes not playing well here in this second half. Getting outscored 31-26 so far. Field goal percentage down from 52 at the half to 47 now. As Handy passes. Andrews, 3, cash. This thing is starting to get tight. 6-point ball game with 6:35 to go. Jeremy Posner over to Hester. Quincy Carter getting ready to check back in. Hester up top, guarded by Andrews. Fits it into Sly White. Sly, Posner from deep, cannot knock it down. Wheatley with the rebound. Tornadoes have gone cold shooting the past few minutes. Handy going inside, ripped away. Sly White ripped the ball out. Charles Reed has it. Reed going to try and beat him to the spot. He will. Charles loses the basketball. Next Seekus and a foul. A late whistle, and now a technical foul against Next Seekus. Was looking here on the near side of the court. Next Seekus some way or another had the ball ending up over towards the Tornado fans. Not sure if he threw it off the glass. Not sure if he just threw it, period, out of frustration. He had the ball on the fast break, but the technical foul will be assessed to number 30, Nadas Neksikas out of Lithuania. So Charlie Hester will be tabbed to shoot the technical free throws. Six-point game, and Wilson, or Hester rather, misses the first free throw. Some chirping coming from the stands on the away side. Charlie Hester knocks down the second. Seven-point lead for the Tornadoes and the basketball now after the technical. 5 fouls against Warren Wilson, so Brevard finally closing in on the bonus perhaps. Warren Wilson has been in the bonus for the past 5 minutes. Now in the double bonus. Jaden Carnes will check in with Quincy Carter as KK throws it into the backcourt for Charles Reed to go grab. Charles to his left. Hester on Nexikas, stepping back, thinks about the three, instead goes into the corner to Charles Reed. Jaden Carnes, left side. Hester this time going to dribble and now pass out to Quincy. Quincy going up for the layup and a foul against Kendrick. Kendrick wanted the charge, but similar to earlier in the ball game, a blocking foul called instead. Remember in the first half, Jeremy Posner did the exact same thing that Yoshi Kendrick just tried to do. And both were assessed with blocking fouls. Quincy Carter having what looks to be some friendly dialogue with Yoshi Kendrick. 2 free throws here for number 4. The veteran leader of this team, no doubt, in his 5th year. Too strong on the first free throw. A little bit too much mustard on that one. NATO's holding a 7-point lead. 5:44 remaining. Carter. It's pure on the second. And now it's an 8-point lead. Wheatley brings it up. He's had a hot second half. Stepping back, firing from deep again. Can't get that one. Quincy Carter is going to hit it off of Warren Wilson's man, Handy, and it'll be Brevard basketball. Tornado ball. As KK inbounds it to Charles Reed, 5.5 remaining. Charles past the BC logo, gives up to KK Horton. Hester now, wide open, Jaden Carnes. They keep leaving him alone in the paint, and it's back to a double-digit lead. Kendrick working on Horton, gonna pass off Nexikas from deep, cannot hit. Rebound, Quincy Carter. Quincy quickly up the floor, bounce pass, Carnes going up and a foul. Nice spark there from Quincy Carter to speed things up and bounce it over to Carnes, give him a chance to go up and either get a basket or draw a foul. And now Jaden Carnes with 2 free throws coming here. Already with 16 points. First free throw good for Carnes. He's got 17. NATO lead back up to double figures at 11. 5 minutes even to go. Jaden hits the second as well. 18 points for Jaden Carnes. And the sophomore who showed so much flash and potential in his first year as a college big man last year, his freshman season, delivering here tonight against Warren Wilson as Charles Reed strips the ball and gets a steal, and then Wheatley gets one right back. Wheatley goes up with the left-handed layup and gets it. Charles didn't want to contest and give him easy free throws through contact, so a 2 there gets it back down to 10. Charles Reed, 4.5 to go, brings it up, gives to KK Horton, who moves Charlie Hester out of the way. Now Carter, right wing. Quincy up top to Jaden Carnes, a little shimmy shake with the shoulders, gives back to Quincy, who ranges to his left. Quincy over to Charles Reed, 10 on the shot clock. Charles up top, Carnes, a dribble, handoff. Reed going inside, floats it up. Too much on that one. Hester fighting for the rebound, knocked over to Nexikas. Nexikas inside, ripped. KK Horton with the steal. Quincy Carter with the basketball through contact, going inside. Euro puts it up, in and out. Rebound is brought in by Andrews. He takes a hard shot there like a receiver over the middle. And he'll have free throws coming his way, down 10 with 3:52 to go. The foul will be against Charlie Hester. And immediate timeout coming Just under 4 minutes to go. This one's heating up, shaping up to be a good one against the winless Owls. The Tornadoes find themselves in a dogfight up 10. Back in just a moment here live from the Bosch. Out of the timeout, Tornadoes holding a 10-point lead, although that could shrink here in just a moment with free throws coming Marcus Andrews' way. Andrews, the sophomore guard out of Eagle River, Arkansas. First free throw is money. Six points now for Marcus Andrews. Knocks them both down, 8-point ball game. 3:52 to go. We're in store for a good finish here at the Bosch, as we so often are. Charles around a screen from Carnes, gives to Hester, now back to Jaden. Jaden, backdoor pass, Horton, corner, Reed, three ball is there! Charles Reed from deep. Gives the Nados a much needed cushion, 11 points, 3:25 to go. Handy, right side Kendrick, gonna pull a three of his own and answer right back. Yoshi Kendrick with 20 points, leading all scorers. KK Horton, 3:11 to go. Gives to Charlie Hester. Carter, Reed, Hester left elbow. Charlie, a couple of dribbles, trying to find position, pass into the corner. Horton thinks about the three, instead he'll take some more clock off. Charles Reed, 8 on the shot clock. Charles hands to Hester, coming back around the corner, and a foul. A foul against Handy, who just happens to throw his hands up in disbelief every time a whistle's called on him. Not sure if Handy thinks he's ever fouled anyone, but that was a foul. That's his third. If you ask him, none of the three were fouls. Thankfully, we're not asking him. 2:53 to go here as Charlie Hester pulls the free throw on the 1-and-1 and can't knock it down. Ball fought for, but Andrews able to come up with it. I guess if Handy heard me just then, he probably would have said the words, "Ball don't lie." Nonetheless, 8-point Tornado lead. Kendrick inside. Back into the corner. Wheatley, three ball, no good. Rebound, Quincy Carter. Quincy slowing things down, gives off to Charles Reed to his right. 2:27 and counting to go here in this one. Charles Reed up top, heads to his left. Back door, Quincy Carter, they left him alone. You gotta go where number 4 goes or you're gonna get burned. 2:10 to go. Nado's up 10. They can feel it. Wheatley, left side Handy. Stepping back at the free throw line. Next Seekus, wide open elbow jumper is good.
Basket by number 30, Nevis Seekus.
Horton. Nado's up by 8, 1:54 to go. Need another good possession or two on both sides to close this one out. Carter up top, Horton driving inside, stepping back from the free throw line, in and out. Handy with the rebound, still life for Warren Wilson. 1:40 to go. Handy, next Seekus. Working on Reed, jab step, goes inside, and the ball's ripped out of his hands. A jump ball, and the possession arrow is going the Tornadoes' way with 1:33 to go and an 8-point lead.
Jump ball, possession arrow, Tornadoes.
Horton Into Reed. Horton calling a play, and now a timeout. Brevard. 1:27 to go. NATO's holding an 8-point lead. And kind of the tale of how we got here. NATO's getting outscored in the second half by 6, but still leading and afloat thanks to an 18-point effort from Jaden Carnes. Quincy Carter with 16 himself, 34 combined between those two. And aside from those two, it's been a real team effort. No one else with more than 7. Carson Evans has 7. For the Owls, Yoshi Kendrick, Antonio Banuelos, and Dylan Wheatley, really the three-headed monster, each of them with 14, 42 combined between those three. Over half of the Warren Wilson points coming from those three starters. And now out of the timeout, we'll see what the NATOs want to do this last minute and a half or so. Surprised we have not seen a lot of Banuelos here in this second half since he started off the half hot. Only one foul for him, so that's not the issue. Some kind of matchup issue. KK nearly gets a backcourt, instead gets it off to Charlie Hester and gets it right back. KK to Hester, and a foul. Foul by Andrews. Was intentional that time. And Warren Wilson going to have to try and hope that the NATOs are not going to hit their free throws here, which isn't out of the question as they're only sitting at 55%. First free throw is good. We'll stick on this side of the court for the second. NATOs before that free throw were only 55% from the stripe. But that percentage just went up a little bit as KK Horton drains both of them. This one should be just about dead in the water with 1:12 to go. Warren Wilson going to have to go fast and probably shoot from beyond the arc. That won't help. Kendrick misfires on a pass to Nexikas, and this one is going to be just about over. 1:07 remaining and a Warren Wilson timeout coming. Going to need something improbable to happen if you're the Owls here. NATO's holding an 80-70 lead with just over a minute remaining in this one. Taking a look at the field goal percentages, they'll end up pretty much even. Hot shooting second half for Warren Wilson, in which they outscored Brevard at least to this point. But all in all, Brevard 47% from the field, Warren Wilson slightly worse at 41%. Both teams pretty abysmal from three-point land. 21% for the NATOs and 23% for Warren Wilson. Neither team shooting exceptionally well from the free throw line either. Warren Wilson 71%. Brevard now right at around 60% after the 2 KK Horton makes. Coach Burgess talked to us earlier about rebounding the basketball. The NATOs have just done that, or have done just that rather. Out-rebounding the Owls by 10, including 9 offensive rebounds. NATOs have led this game for 36 minutes. Warren Wilson only for 1 minute and 12. And it looks like the Tornadoes are going to finish this one with the lead as well. Nexikas telling Handy to get up on Charles Reed, who receives the inbound. Charles going to not get fouled. Gives off to Horton. KK to Carter. Quincy cross court to Charles Reed, and they'll play the time game. Hester, they'll foul him. And 2 free throws for the really good shooter, Charlie Hester.
Foul number 11, Deshaun Handy. 4th personal foul, team foul number 10.
Charlie, 6 points, only 1 of 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point land tonight, but now 5 for 8 from the free throw line. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals for Charlie Hester, so an all-around effort for number 13 as he prepares for free throw number 2. And there it is. 82-70, 53 seconds to go. Andrews with the basketball. Nexikas fires up a 3, rattles in and out. Charlie, KK, Gonna let him foul him? No, he gets it off to Reed, who will be fouled by Kendrick.
Foul number 2, Yoshi Kendrick. His third.
Third foul for Kendrick. And 2 free throws coming here for Mr. Reed. Charles True on the first one. The second one as well. 40 seconds and counting to go. 14-point lead for the NATOs. Pulling away here late, partially due to free throws as Handy gives Andrews. Fires up a 3, short. Charles Reed, rebound, and he will have the ball stuffed out of his hands, out of bounds. It'll stay the NATOs' way, and I know you want to fight to the end, but with 26 seconds left, Warren Wilson really doesn't need to foul down 14 as Horton gives to Reed. Charles gets by defenders. He'll just circle around and run this thing out. Quincy Carter, 16 seconds left, and it looks like Warren Wilson will not foul. That 4 corners offense, 10 seconds to go. And Kendrick will give some respect to Quincy Carter. That's going to be it. 84-70, the Tornadoes getting a victory here in this one. Their second consecutive victory and second victory of the season. Tornadoes move to 2-3 and now a win away from getting back to 500. Their next contest will be a week from now, November 28th at Oglethorpe. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip. Tornadoes sweep the doubleheader against in-state Warren Wilson. The women picking up the victory in their ball game earlier, and Brevard College men's picking up an 84-70 victory. 18 points for Jaden Carnes, 16 for Quincy Carter. They led the charge, and every Tornado that checked into the ball game got into the scoring tonight. That is 10 different Tornadoes that entered this ball game and got points in this one. All in all, a really good night for Tornado basketball. 14-point victory for the men's and a big-time victory for the women's as well in their contest, 85-69. Back here after Thanksgiving break. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving with your families at home or wherever you may be celebrating. I am Brady Penn, signing off of the air here. Let's go, NATOs.